Former U.S. Vice President Dick Cheney has died at the age of 84, marking the end of a long and powerful era in American politics. His death was confirmed by his family, who said he passed away peacefully on November 3, 2025, surrounded by his wife Lynne Cheney, their daughters Liz and Mary Cheney, and several grandchildren. The cause of death was reported as complications from pneumonia and long-term cardiac and vascular disease. His family described him as a great and good man who taught his children and grandchildren to love our country and to live lives of courage, honor, and kindness. Dick Cheney's public career stretched across more than 4 decades, during which he became one of the most influential and controversial figures in U.S. history. Born in Lincoln, Nebraska, in 1941, Cheney rose through Washington's ranks from a young age to a statesman whose decisions would shape global policy. He served as White House Chief of Staff under President Gerald Ford, later as a 6-term congressman from Wyoming, and then as Secretary of Defense under President George H.W. Bush, overseeing the Gulf War in 1991, a military campaign widely regarded as a major U.S. success at the time. His most prominent and defining role came when he served as Vice President under President George W. Bush from 2001 to 2009. Following the September 11th terrorist attacks, Cheney emerged as a key architect of America's response, advocating for military intervention in Afghanistan and Iraq, and expanding the powers of the presidency in matters of national security. His influence within the administration was extraordinary, reshaping the office of the vice presidency into one of real decision-making authority. Cheney's political legacy is complex. To his supporters, he was a steadfast patriot who believed in strength, loyalty, and decisiveness. To his critics, he represented the darker side of post-9/11 America, a leader whose decisions on surveillance, torture, and the Iraq War left scars that would take decades to heal. Even after leaving office, he remained unapologetic about his policies, often stating that his choices, though tough, were made in the nation's best interest. Beyond politics, Cheney was deeply devoted to his family. He and Lynne, his wife of over 60 years, built a strong partnership that extended from their days in Wyoming to the highest levels of government. Their daughter Liz Cheney became a prominent figure in her own right, serving in Congress and becoming one of the most vocal Republican critics of former President Donald Trump. His younger daughter, Mary Cheney, made headlines for her advocacy of LGBTQ rights, and her relationship with her father, once politically complicated, evolved into one of mutual respect and family unity. Dick Cheney's passing closes a chapter in modern American history. His life story reflects the transformation of U.S. politics after the Cold War, the rise of a national security state, and the enduring debate over power and accountability in government. Whether admired or condemned, Cheney's impact is undeniable. He leaves behind a nation still grappling with many of the questions his leadership helped to define, and a family that remembers him not as the architect of wars or policies, but as a husband, father, grandfather, and man who believed deeply in the country he served.